Hello. Today we are going to discuss how we can use Tinkerplots in our classrooms. So today we're going to open the file schooldata.tp in Tinkerplots. And we're going to look at what factors may be related to whether or not a state has a high or low average teacher salary. We're going to take some of the attributes that are in our case study on the left to test to see if any of these different attributes affect our average teacher salary. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to be able to see what's going on. So we're going to go into the top left corner and we're going to click the plot button, and we'll see a little hand, and we want to drag it down beside the case study box. And we're able to see, since I have my clicker on the average salary, which is going to be this light brown to dark brown colors that we're able to see in the left hand side right beside the average salary. So that's why they're using these colors. So we're able to see what these different colors are, but however, we're not able to understand what are the light colors depicting a high salary or a low salary. So we need to be able to understand these types of approaches. So what we're going to do to be able to grasp this concept and to see, does the dark color mean low salary or high salary? So we're going to go over to our attributes and we're going to click on the average salary, and we're going to grab it and drop it over onto the x-axis. We have now seen that our points have been spread out into two different bins. Now, if we don't want them all in these two bins and we want to have smaller bin areas, we're able to click any of the points on the graph and just drag it to spread the points apart. So now we're getting a smaller distance between our bin size. So now, for me, I personally think that this is a little too messy for me to see. So I like to have them and go into the top little bar, and we can see where it says stack. And I like to click the stack thing to make it more where I can understand what's going on and actually see what's going on. So now we're able to determine that the white and the paler brown colors are more for a low salary, and they are going to be receiving a lot of the lower salaries that are out there for teachers, while the darker brown that we were seeing earlier depicted that these teachers are earning a higher salary. Now, we want to see how these different teachers are receiving more money. So let's take different attributes. So let's take the census region and let's add it to our y-axis. We're now able to see that it breaks it up into 4 different sections on our y-axis: the west, the south, the northeast, and the midwest. And it breaks it up into colors now that are green, yellow, a red color, red, pink, and purple. And we're able to see that the purple is for the Midwest. The reddish pink is for Northeast. The yellow is for the South, and the West is the green. And based off of this representation, we're able to come to the conclusion that the lowest teacher salaries tend to be in the Midwest, and the higher teacher salaries tend to be in the Northeast. So based off of these things, we're able to understand what locations are getting the higher salary for teachers. So let's go and look at other attributes to see if other different kinds of things that sometimes we can't control as teachers affect our salary. So let's click expenditure per student, And let's drag it and drop it over onto the y-axis. It now breaks it up into a light pink up to a red. So we're able to see that that light pink means that you have low expenditure, that you can spend money that you can spend on your students, while the higher, which is the red, means that you have more money that you're given to spend on your class per student. So we're able to see how this is, if at all, is affecting our teacher salary. So I would say that partially, if you have, like, we can look here, our light pinkish color here, it looks like they're earning a little bit of money to help for their students, but they're also earning a low salary. However, we're able to look at this pink dot right here in the 10,000 to 14,999, and we're able to see that these teachers are still earning a lot of money. And then we're able to see that the highest amount of money that you can spend on a student and the average salary up here, it doesn't seem to have a lot of correlation, being that there's a pink dot here and a dark red here, and based off of the expenditure per student, that it's not affecting the salary. However, if you go to a low poverty school, you're probably not going to have a lot of money that you can spend per student. Therefore, you're probably also working in an area that has a lower average salary. So that would definitely make sense for this kind of idea. So let's go and also look at the number of teachers to see if that affects our average salary. So we're going to click it, and we're going to drag it, and we're going to drop it to our y-axis. And we are able to see that for the less number of teachers you have is that white dot, and the more teachers you have is the really dark green. But if we follow the number of teachers from 0 to 89,999, we're able to see that whole patch, that line, is all light colors, but we're still able to see that there are still some that are getting an average salary of 70,000 to 76,999. So we're able to come to that conclusion that, well, maybe the number of teachers isn't affecting the average salary. We're able to also see that this dark green up here in the 49,000 to 55,999 is they have a lot of teachers at this school here and in this area, but they're still not earning that much money, while this dark one, they are earning a lot of money for the amount of teachers they have. So it's not obvious, we can't say that the more teachers you have, the higher salary that you will earn, because we're able to witness now how there are light ones even in the highest salary here based off of the number of students that they have. Let's also look at the number of high school grads. And we're going to drag it and we're going to drop it into the y-axis as well. And we are still able to see how a lot of our number of high school grads has decreased a lot. There are only 2 cases out of 51 that fell higher than the 199,999 mark. So we're able to see that, does the number of high school graduates affect how much we get paid? So let's drag our dot up some so we can actually see all the colors that are falling into each category to see if the color is affecting it. And so here we're able to see that this color, this dot right here, is still a really light green. So we're able to see that they don't have a lot of high school graduates, while they're still earning a really good salary. While this dot up here is a really dark green. And so they really have a really high number of high school graduates, and they're still earning about the same amount of money as somebody with a low high school grad ratio. So let's look at the last one. We're going to look at revenue per student. We're going to go and we're going to drag and drop it into our y-axis as well. And we are able to see how it splits up, and it's lighter to darker as well. Now for this one, we're able to see that a lot of the lighter colors that we have been looking at are closer to the left-hand side, meaning that they are earning a lot more or a lot less than some of the darker colors. And we're able to see that the revenue per student is a lot, and when it's higher, these schools tend to have a higher average salary. So we're able to understand that based off of these different colors and how they get darker. If you look in the last bin, you have majority of the dark colors in here, but you do have some light colors, as well as throughout the whole diagram, we're able to still see some dark colors that have high revenue, but they're still not earning a lot as average salary for teachers, such as this dot up here. They've got a really high revenue per student. However, they don't have the highest average salary. So we're able to understand that based off of our experiment, that a lot of it comes down to based off of where someone lives. It depends on what kind of money that state is in that region is bringing into their education funding. So that has a really big impact on the average salary. So based on our visual analysis with color, we're able to, based on our different approaches, we're able to see that the lighter the color, the less average salary or whatever we're looking at is, and that dark pretty color is a high, whatever the cases that we're looking at on the y-axis. So in this case, we're looking at revenue. So that dark color means the higher the revenue per student. So this is how we can embed this into our classroom to have our students to investigate different attributes to see how they affect a teacher's salary. And we can do this with many other tools for our students, so they are able to investigate on their own. And I would like to thank you for your time and have a good evening.